On any quiet morning, before the coffee has even cooled, there is a silent transaction happening in your bank account that you never agreed to and never signed off on. Somewhere in your savings, your money earned a little interest overnight, and the moment it did, a silent partner appeared beside you. You have never met this partner. You did not invite them in, but they sit at your kitchen table every single year, and when that interest lands, they reach across and take nearly half of it. That partner is the CRA. And in 2026, for every dollar of interest you earn in a taxable account, this partner can claim as much as 53% of it, depending on your marginal tax rate. But here is what almost no one talks about. Once a year, the government hands you a specific mathematical shield, a legal structure that locks this partner out completely. And right now, as the calendar counts down toward December 31st, most Canadians are letting that shield expire, letting the window slam shut, without ever realizing it was open. The shield has a name. It is the tax-free savings account, the TFSA. And in 2026, the CRA is offering you $7,000 of brand new room inside it. $7,000. On the surface, it sounds almost too small to matter. A rounding error next to a mortgage, or a year of groceries at Loblaws. But that number is not a savings figure. It is a seed. It is the DNA of wealth. Because everything that happens inside that $7,000, every dollar of growth, every dividend, every gain, belongs entirely to you. The silent partner is not allowed through the door. And this is what separates it from the RRSP. The RRSP does not lock the partner out. It simply asks him to wait. You defer the tax today, and he collects it later, when you withdraw. The TFSA is different. Inside the TFSA, the partner never gets a seat at the table at all. For anyone who has been eligible since 2009 and never opened one, that room has been quietly stacking up, year after year, into a cumulative total of roughly $109,000 of tax-free space waiting to be used. To understand why this matters, picture your savings not as money, but as a single, delicate plant. In a regular taxable account, that plant is growing out in the open field, and every winter, every tax season, the CRA frost rolls in. It settles over your growth, and it kills off nearly half of everything the plant produced that year. The plant survives, but it never gets tall. Season after season, the frost keeps cutting it back down to the ground. Now picture the TFSA as a glass greenhouse built around that very same plant. The glass lets the sunlight in. All the market growth, all the compounding, all the gains, they pour straight through the glass and reach the plant. But the frost? The frost hits that glass and slides off. It never touches a single leaf. Inside that greenhouse, protected and warm, the plant grows twice as tall in half the time. Same seed, same sunlight. The only difference is a thin sheet of glass standing between your growth and the partner who wants to take it. Now, let us talk about the mistake that feels the safest and quietly costs the most. Imagine you are holding $20,000 in a taxable HISA, a high-interest savings account at one of the big banks, earning 5%. On paper, that looks responsible. That looks like a win. The number in the app is going up. But watch what the partner does. That 5% of interest is taxed at your marginal tax rate. So after the CRA takes its cut, your real return might land closer to 2.5%. And once you subtract inflation, the rising cost of everything, from housing to that same cart of groceries, your money is barely moving at all. You feel like you are saving, you are being careful, you are being responsible. But mathematically, you are not saving, you are stagnating. You are running as hard as you can just to stay in exactly the same place, while the partner quietly walks off with the difference. And this is where the calendar itself becomes dangerous. There is a specific rule about the TFSA that traps thousands of Canadians every single year, and it lives entirely inside one date, December 31st. Here is how it works. If you withdraw money from your TFSA, you do get that contribution room back, but not immediately. You only get it back on January 1st of the following year. So the timing of your moves does not just affect your money today. It rewrites your mathematical capacity for the entire year ahead. Think of your contribution room as a one-way valve. When you push money through that valve into your TFSA, it flows into a tax-free reservoir, and it stays there, protected, compounding, completely out of the partner's reach. The valve for 2026 is open right now. $7,000 of pressure, waiting to move. But if you let the year end without using it, something specific happens. The valve for this year does not disappear. That room does carry forward. But you have permanently lost 12 months of pressure, 12 months of compounding that you can never buy back at any price. And in a system that runs entirely on time, losing a year of pressure means losing the one ingredient that makes the whole machine work. There is a moment, it might come at the start of the work week, staring at a payslip, when a quiet, uncomfortable truth finally settles in. You are working for the net. The wealthy are working for the gross. You earn $1, and the partner takes his share before you ever see it. Then you save what is left, and the partner comes back for the interest. You are being taxed on the way in, and then taxed again on the way up. The wealthy learned a long time ago to build the greenhouse first, and then grow inside it. Their sunlight is the exact same sunlight as yours. They have simply put glass between their growth and the frost. Which brings us to the single most misunderstood word in this entire system, the word savings. Because most Canadians hear tax-free savings account, and they do exactly what the name tells them to do. They save. They park plain cash inside it, earning maybe 2%, and they feel protected. But wealthy Canadians do not save in their TFSA. They invest in it. Here is the difference in plain numbers. A TFSA holding cash at 2% is a greenhouse with a single small plant inside. Protected, yes, but barely growing at all. A TFSA holding a diversified equity ETF, historically averaging something closer to 8%, is a greenhouse packed from floor to ceiling with growth. Same glass, same frost, locked outside. But one of them is running the engine, and the other is just sitting there, idling in the driveway. The TFSA was never designed to be a place to hide cash. It was built to be an engine, and the fuel is whatever you choose to put inside it. So what is the actual move before the calendar flips? It is a manual override. It is deliberately taking money that is currently sitting exposed in a taxable account, in a HISA, out in the open field where the frost can reach it, and moving it inside the glass before winter arrives. You are not creating new money out of thin air. You are relocating the money you already have out of a taxable environment and into a tax-free one, out of the field and into the greenhouse, out of the partner's reach and into your own reservoir. And for many people across the GTA and far beyond it, that single move, done in the right months, before December 31st, is the difference between decades of frost and decades of protected growth. The $7,000 of room for 2026 is available now. The valve is open now. The only real question left is whether the money moves through it while the year still allows it. Because in the end, wealth in Canada was never really about how much you make. Two people can earn the exact same salary in Canadian dollars, live on the very same street, and still retire decades apart, for one single reason. One of them kept standing out in the field, getting hit by the frost. The other one built the glass. Wealth is not about the size of your income. It is about how much of the sunlight you are allowed to keep. And true financial freedom is not a bigger paycheck. It is a greenhouse so large, so full, and so well built that the frost outside simply stops mattering. A place where your growth is finally, permanently, and completely yours. The window for 2026 is open. The glass is waiting. All that is left now is to move. If you learned something, like this video and hit subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.